This is Eric with DiffuserDoc, and today I'm going to show you how to replace the ceramic disc in a Young Living bamboo diffuser. And to do this, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a binder clip. You may have seen this in one of my previous videos. I like to use this to, unscrew the disc, and a replacement disc from DiffuserDoc.com. And to get started, we're going to remove these 4 screws on the back of the diffuser. You may not have to take them out all the way, that way they don't get lost. If you just pop them loose, if you do get one, just put it in here and that'll keep it together. And you're gonna slightly lift this off over these buttons and pop it off, and pop the bottom off, and it's gonna slide right out of the back here. And then we're gonna set this aside. This is the cover. We'll put that back on later. The next thing we're going to do after we take this top out is focus on the bottom. We're going to take these 3 screws out and remove the bottom from the unit. And the reason we're coming in from the bottom is because it's really difficult to get down in there and change that disc out. So we're coming in from the bottom, and it just makes it easier. It seems more complicated, but it's not. Once we have those screws loose, we're going to slide the bottom out and then disconnect the 2 wires that come from the inside there. Just pull. It's not going to hurt anything. And then set the screws aside. If one stays in there, that's good. At least I know where it's at. And the next thing that we want to do is focus on these 4 screws at the bottom of this unit here, and take this silver transducer out. There's an O-ring inside here. We want to be careful not to lose that. So let's just get started and pull these out, and I'll show you what I mean. These are 4 long screws. And the reason that you may want to replace this disc is after about 5, these are all rated for around 5,000 hours, give or take. And at the end of its lifespan, you'll be experiencing that it'll produce less mist, or it just doesn't work at all. Changing the disc is typically the only thing you need to do. It's the only physically moving part other than the fan, but these discs actually vibrate really quickly, and that physical motion wears them out. So once you replace them, they'll be like new. So that's the last long screw, and then we'll gently lift this out. And now you can see that here's the O-ring that I mentioned earlier. We just want to leave that in place. And here's the disc. And one of the ways I like to get these rings loose is to take a binder clip and just pop one of these. This is a small binder clip. Pop one piece out, just like I have here. And this just happens to fit in these grooves perfectly. And once you have it in that groove, start turning it like a screw and loosen that ring up. Once you have that ring loose, you can kind of move it with your finger, and there'll be a little spring underneath. It's going to want to pop it out. Take the old disc out, set it aside, put your ring down, and we'll take out the new disc. Now these discs they're actually a titanium alloy that are they're rated for all kinds of corrosive materials, but they're pretty high quality. What we want to do is place the disc in here and line it up. There's an O-ring on the inside, make sure that stays put. Line the disc up, put the ring back on top, press down until you can feel it want to thread, and use your fingers to just get it started. And then you can almost finger tighten it with your fingernail in the grooves. Once you have it tight, use your binder clip, put it into the 2 grooves, and just tighten it up. And what you're doing is you're actually pressing the disc against the spring, and you're also compressing the new disc against that O-ring so that it seals this unit from leakage and water. So that feels tight to me. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to make sure this O-ring is perfectly seated, and then start to reassemble it into the unit. So this O-ring needs to stay where it is, and you want to line these 4 screws up with the four screws in there, and try to make sure that O-ring stays in place. And you can do that by just sort of checking both sides, making sure nothing binds up, and the O-ring, move it around, feels like it's in there. Line the screw holes up. Then we're going to take these 4 long screws back out, or the ones that we took out, put them back in. Sort of finger tighten 2 of them. And then I'm going to screw 2 of them in, and then I'll do the other 2. These aren't completely tight, they're just in place. Do the other 2. And then I'm going to walk around to each of these and tighten them up in like a circle, just to make sure that I have even compression on the O-ring on the inside and we don't get a leak. You don't want to over tighten, just make sure everything's tight, and then just finger tighten them all. Take your time. Make sure everything feels good. Okay, good. So that disc is in place, and the next thing we want to do is just plug the transducer back in where it came from. There we go. And we'll start reassembly. Slide this bottom back in, and we're going to put, I know that this one screw never came out. Put these screws in. Tighten those up. Now, time to replace the cover. The cover has a kind of a groove right here, or a protrusion that goes into a groove, and you can just sort of line this up, and you'll feel it slide right into that, and it has some play. And the next thing you want to do is line these back screws up with a little notches, and then just top to cover over until everything seems lined up. And then we'll screw this back together. One more screw. Alright, now it's time to test. So, we're going to go ahead and plug it in. Add some water. There's a line in there. Not sure exactly where it's at, but add a little bit of water. Put the top on, and then we'll give it a whirl. There we go. We're back to diffusing. Seems to be working great. So, you can buy these discs at www.DiffuserDoc.com, and you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/DiffuserDoc. Thanks for watching.